Yeah, welcome to Super Easy Physics and Mathematics. Today we're going to be looking at questions that prove quite challenging for the student that wrote the Physics Paper 2 extended 20 October November 2021. So we're going to see some of the questions that most students failed, and I'm going to give you the possible reason why most students failed it, the mistake, the misconception. So I'm going to actually look at how to address some of the misconceptions that candidates normally have that made them to fail questions. Now, when you go through this question, I know when you are going to write the next exam, you have opportunity to perform better so that you don't make the same mistake that made the student that writes this particular paper to fail the question. So let's go into it. Question 9 was the first major challenging question for them. Which energy source has the sun as its only source of energy? Wow. Now many students picked option A. Now geothermal energy, but the center of the earth is hot due to residual energy during the formation of planets, and also radioactive decay of heavy elements also contribute. So when they say which energy has the sun as its only source of energy, sun as it, so that means geothermal is not part of the energy that they get from the sun. Then if you look at the option B, nuclear, yeah, it comes this energy that results from the atom. Then you look at the tidal wave. So the actual answer is the solar energy, because it's the energy that is gotten because of the transformation of the dead living thing, okay, the remain that is converted to oil. So you look at that, okay, so you get this one. So the solar energy photosynthesis is very, very relevant when we talk about production of oil as a source of energy. The next question is question 11. The diagram shows three glass containers. All the three containers fill to the same vertical height. So take note of this. Fill to the same vertical height. So H is the same, notwithstanding whether this is slant or whether this has a broader base or not. Now, the base of P is equal to the base of R. The base of P is equal to the base of R. So Q has a wider base. The base of Q is larger than the other two. Students are asked to compare the water pressure at the bottom of each container. So student 1, 2, 3. Student 1 says that the pressure at R is more than the pressure at P. Student P said that the pressure at Q is less than the pressure at P. Student C said that the pressure at all the three bases are the same. So which students are correct? So, well, they will have all manner of answer. Many students pick B. What is B? B says that the pressure at R is more than the pressure at P. The pressure at R is more than the pressure at P. So now the pressure at the base is determined by the vertical height of the liquid above the base and not the wideness of the base. So if you look at the pressure is equal to density multiplied by strength of gravity multiplied by the height. So this is what is responsible for the pressure due to the liquid. So based on that, the correct answer is D. So student C says that, well, the pressure at all the three is the same because the height is the same. So the base area does not affect the pressure due to liquid. So, alright, question 19. A ray of light travels from air into a glass block. Three suggestions as to how the refractive index of the glass may be calculated and listed. 1. Velocity in air divided by velocity in glass. Wavelength in air divided by wavelength in glass. Then frequency in air divided by frequency in glass. Which suggestions are correct? 1 to 3. Wow. Many students pick A. So that A is correct. Now, when light travels from one medium to another, the wavelength also changes, and this produces a change in the speed, but the frequency remains the same. So that automatically rule out suggestion 3. This one is out, but suggestion 1 and 2 are correct. But let me help you to understand why. So let's look at it. So if you have a ray of light traveling from air to glass, so this glass, so you have this light orange or whatever color, then here the brown, the glass layer. So let's have a normal perpendicular, then this blue is the interface between the air and the glass. So if you have a ray of light traveling, so let's have this red ray of light traveling in the air. So what happened here, the wavelength in air is wide. So then if it enter into the glass, the ray of light is bent towards the normal, and then you see that the wavelength in glass is shorter because the wavefront are closer. So if you look at this, so you have wavelength in air is larger, while wavelength in glass is shorter. So if you look at this particular explanation, and if you want to calculate the refractive index, so you have speed in air over speed in glass, then wavelength in air over wavelength in glass. So 1 and 2 are correct. So the correct answer is B. Question 25. Is a stationary charged particle is in a field. Which field can cause there to be a force on this particle due to its charge? Gravitational field, magnetic field, electric field. So let's see, many students pick A, B, C, D. So they are not actually sure. So they pick this, pick this, pick this, pick this. Now, the only field which produces a force on a stationary charge is electric field. So gravitational field and magnetic field does not affect the force in electric field. So the only option is suggestion 3. So D is the correct answer. Alright, this question 19. Which graph show the current voltage characteristics for a filament lamp? So you have A, B, C, and D. Now let's see why most students fail this question. Candidate pick option A, B, C, and D. So that means they are not sure. They don't know the current, the IV characteristics for a filament lamp. So many students were not familiar with the current voltage characteristics graph for a filament lamp. So that is why there is confusion why most students pick this option. But let me help you to understand the IV characteristics for a filament lamp and resistors and thermistors and all those ones. So let's see. Now, C is wrong. C is the IV characteristics for thermistor, that is a diode. 1 is the IV characteristics for resistor, ohmic conductor that obey Ohm's law. So for a filament lamp, as temperature increases, for thermistor, resistance reduces. Okay, then why the resistance tends to increase with temperature, but as it increases, it gets to a plateau. So the most important point is that the resistance increases as the temperature increases, therefore the current increases at a slower rate. So what happened? The correct option for this is D. So that is the correct option for this question. Let's go to the next question. Yeah, the next question is question 37. The nucleus of americium atom contains 146 neutrons and 95 protons. It decays by emitting alpha particle. How many neutrons and how many protons remain in the nucleus when this form of americium decay? So if you look at this, question 37, many students failed this one because they did not read the question carefully enough and were confused between the nucleon number and the proton number. So let's see. So many candidates thought that the neutron number fell by 4. So if you look at it, they felt that the neutron number fell by 4. Now, what is the point here? So let's look at the decay reaction. So americium 141 decay by emitting alpha particle, which is 42. So if I subtract 4 from 141, then subtract 2 from this, so the nathanium, which is X, that is formed, is going to be 23792 X. So this X is the neutronium atom. So which one is the correct option here? So you have 93 proton, and then what is the number of neutron? You subtract 93 from 273 to give 144 neutron. So the correct option is D. Now the next question is question 39. Oxygen 15 is used in hospital. The count rate for a detector placed close to a sample of oxygen 15 was recorded over a period of 15 minutes. That is from 0 to this point, 15 minutes. The background count rate is 20 counts per minute. Background count rate. So if you look at it, the background count rate is 20 meters per second. Now, what is the half-life of this sample of oxygen 15? There are 3 basic mistakes that students make here. Number 1, most students' common mistake was to correctly subtract the background count rate and then calculate half of it, but they didn't add it to it before tracking the half-life. But they did not add it to it before tracking the half-life. So this was on the mistake. Then the third category of students were those ones that totally ignore the background count rate and just take the half-life. They just track half of the count rate and then get the half-life. So let's look at how to. All right, so for us to get the half-life for this particular question, what we need to do is, first of all, take note of the background count rate, which is 20, which is this point here. Then make background adjustment. So we have 120 minus the background count rate, so that gives 120. So divide it by half, that gives 80. Then add the background count rate to give us 100. So from 100 you track it, then you track it down, that gives the half-life of 2 minutes. So the correct answer is A. Wow. Hello brilliant students who want to succeed. Thank you for watching this video. More tutorials solving past exam questions to assist you will be uploaded, so please subscribe to keep up to date. Please kindly like and comment on this video and feel free to ask any question and I'll make time to reply you. Thank you for watching and reviewing this question with me. I wish you good luck as you prepare for your exam.